Live Connect is when you have a situation like you have a cell phone, you need resources. Whereas Live Connect is always connected. It's like your phone line is always on. So when it fails over from one to the second one is already connected. Now you explain a little.
Okay. So you said this is actually one of our devices here, which Arnell just gave to me. So you see, I've just popped out the SIM cards here. So this is a smart SIM card, this is a Globe SIM card. So what this basically means is that anywhere that you have coverage from Smart or Globe, the bank can put an ATM or put a kiosk or put a small branch and serve these people.
Branch, not just ATM,
Yeah.
whole bank.
Yeah.
We can serve the whole bank with it.
So and if it'll run on Globe, and if there's any problem with Globe, it'll automatically fail over to Smart. And that's very important because people have to trust the technology that they're using. If something's not working, like Arnell said, if they go to the ATM, there's a big line and the ATM's down, they're going to not trust that. But because of our dual carrier technology, the ATM's always going to be available, and the lines will get shorter, I'm sure, but also more people start using those ATMs as well out in the countryside. So that's very important. So that's one of the unique things that we're bringing to the table here. Is this dual carrier, automatic failover, redundant technology.
So one other thing, you all have wireless at home, Wi-Fi at home, right? The telco brings in and then put a little box there, a little modem there, right? You're going to ask a question. You haven't asked, but I'll ask for you. What's the difference between this guy and that guy you have at home? Very different. Totally different. It's like, I would say in English, apple and orange. They're not even fruit. It's totally different, right? How is it different? How is it different?
Oh, how's it?
That's an easy question.
I thought it was a question.
I'm asking for everybody.
Well, one of the challenges that we have in countries like the Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, is the weather, right? It gets hot. We have a lot of rain, So we've actually designed this to work in very, very harsh conditions. So you'll see this is made out of metal. And the good thing about metal is it dissipates heat. So this can run in environments up to 70 degrees, which is hot. It's too hot for us. If you touch it, you'll hurt your hand. But it's very important if you've got an ATM sitting out in the sun somewhere, it's going to get hot. And so this will keep running. It will run longer than the ATM will actually run. It's designed to be small. It's designed to be physically installed inside the ATM.
Inside the ATM.
So security is very important. We just had a very long discussion about security yesterday at the event, and security is very important. So physical security is as important as any data security. So this goes inside the ATM. It can't be seen. It can't be taken. It can't be used for any other purpose. But the important thing is that it's designed to work in the weather conditions we have here in the Philippines. It's not affected by heat. If it starts to rain, though, it will still work as long as it doesn't get underwater. It will still work. And the conditions that we've had in Indonesia are very similar to the conditions that we have here, and the same in Thailand as well. So it's been, I would say, battle tested in these harsh conditions.
Okay, that's the physical part. That's just very small part. There's a bigger part. I'm leading you to the question. That's a bigger part because these telephones that I have mine over there runs on public wave. Your phone call, my phone call, all run on the same wave. In fact, you probably didn't realize it. They use a multiplex capability, which means it's the same signal goes through for all of us making a phone call at the same time. We write the same signal, actually. You probably didn't realize. It's all chopped up. It's get descrambled somewhere else and then put together. You probably didn't realize that. Your phone call, my phone call, all scrambled together in one piece and get descrambled later. That's how the phone system works. But we don't share that. We don't go on the public network. when we send out a signal from ATM to the corporate bank, it doesn't go on that public network. It's just like you go on the freeway. No, go on the highway. No, everybody goes on the same kind. No, we have our own private network. How does that work?
Oh, how does that work? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. Okay. So when we actually install these devices and we install the SIM cards, they are special SIM cards. So the SIM cards in all our cell phones, they all go over the internet, you know, and that's all shared infrastructure. These SIM cards actually go a different path. They go over a corporate infrastructure. So instead of going over the internet, they go on a direct path from the cell tower to the bank's data center, and that's a private path. So they can't be intercepted. You can't get to these devices because they go a completely separate path than the normal cell phone traffic.
It's separate paths for each bank.
They
don't mix.
No, we don't mix the banks.
So you don't mix banks. So it goes from this directly to that bank only. You can't deviate. Nobody can get in. It's like a little private tube highway. No one can get in at all. And even if they do get in, which is impossible, what do we have? We have security on top of it. 128 bits IPsec security scrambled. So that's why it's very, very secure. It's much more secure than a copper line. Because we're on a copper line, just down the street on the telephone post. That's how easy to get to. And everybody runs over that copper line. Same line, all the signals. Copper line, there is no virtual terminal. Just go over that line. That's it. Whereas we have. So you have speed, you have virtually everywhere, and you have security.
Yep. And reliability.
And reliability, failover.
Yep.
Which, in the case of if you would to do a lease line, what do you have to do? You have to run two lines. Well, one is hard enough, let alone two lines. It's impossible. And on top of that, deployment is difficult, right? How long it takes to get a physical line to a house? You all had experience, right? It takes a long time, right? How long does it take?
Oh, I can't remember already, but it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Long time. When's it going to come? So with ours, 10 minutes, we're done.
Question.
Yes.
So you came here to talk about
In that particular area. So we all know that, you know, some places Smart's good, some places Globe's good, but some places they're both good, you know. So we'll pick which one's the best and we'll run on that as a primary communications path. And then if there's any problem on that line, say there's a network outage somewhere or some problem, it will fail over to the second carrier, so to Smart for example, and the ATM will keep working. So basically what we have is we have two communication paths that we can use for the ATM. And with that we can give some very, very high uptime for those ATMs and make sure that they continue running. So we've been doing, well, when I say we've been doing, Nell's been travelling around Philippines. He's been to Mindanao, he's been to Davao, he's been to lots of other places actually testing this in areas where banks are having problems with their communications. And it's been very, 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 very solid in all those areas. So even out in the countryside, you know, we've got very, very good results. So currently we're working with 4 banks here in the Philippines, we're actually testing our solution, and we're actually in the process of talking to another 7 banks to actually roll out our solution as well. Thank you. So you know, currently banks have issues with communications, and they're looking for 3C to help solve those problems. So we've been here for 2 or 3 months now, working with the banks, and it's been very successful so far. Major banks. Major banks. Yeah. So you know, I mean, our major targets for banks are banks with a lot of ATMs, and with ATMs deployed all over the Philippines as well. So you know, you can probably guess who they are. You know. So you know, and everyone we talk to has been very interested because they have problems with their communications. They have issues with the cost of communications. The further they get outside of Manila, the more that the communications will cost them. And with our solution, it's the same price in Manila as it is in the furthest regions of the Philippines. So in Indonesia, we have deployments from up in Banda Aceh, which is at the top of Indonesia, all the way over to West Papua, which is 5 time zones difference between the two.
So even isolated islands.
Even isolated, as long as you can. Basically, if you can make a cell phone call, you could put an ATM. Basically. So, and even if your cell phone call is not great quality, you could probably still put an ATM because we can enhance the signal. So that's the message that we tell the banks. That they can deploy basically wherever they want for a very, very reasonable price, and it will be secure, it will be reliable, and it will work pretty much the same in Makati as it does in Mindanao, for example. They have